Gabrielle Ruiz enjoys playing Star Trek. Lower Decks' remarkable and fascinating Vulcan Lieutenant Lynn. Gabrielle Ruiz may be best known to fans of comedy and musical television for her breakout role on Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. But in the Star Trek universe, she's forging a completely different legacy, one grounded in logic, precision, and unexpectedly potent comedy. As Lieutenant Lynn on Star Trek Lower Decks, Ruiz brings a refreshing presence to the animated series. A Vulcan officer whose stoicism is as sharp as her intellect, yet whose emotional undercurrent resonates with surprising depth. What makes Ruiz's portrayal so compelling is the delicate balance she maintains. Tlin is, after all, a Vulcan, a species celebrated and often parodied for their logical thinking, emotional suppression, and monotone delivery. But Lower Decks, in its usual subversive style, finds clever ways to peel back the layers of the Vulcan mystique without ever disrespecting canon. Ruiz embraces that challenge fully, and it's clear from her performance that she delights in exploring the nuances of a character who is both typically Vulcan and subtly rebellious. Flynn was first introduced in the second season episode Wedge Dodge, a fan-favorite installment that followed three separate ship crews, Klingons, Pakolts, and Vulcans. Though Lynn was initially a supporting character within the Vulcan ship subplot, she stole the spotlight with her unorthodox approach to problem-solving and subtle questioning of her superior's rigid adherence to logic. It was the kind of breakout performance fans love to latch onto, and latch on they did. Online forums buzzed, fan art circulated, and viewers clamored for her return. Ruiz, who had not previously been known within the Star Trek realm, quickly found herself embraced by a brand new fandom. It was kind of overwhelming, she said in interviews, but in the best way possible. Star Trek fans are so passionate and intelligent, and they really got what we were doing with Tlin. Her delight in playing the character is evident not just in her voice performance, but in how she talks about the role off-screen. Ruiz has often highlighted how much she enjoys the dichotomy of playing someone so emotionally restrained while still hinting at a rich internal world. It's a rare opportunity for an actor to portray deep feeling without ever raising your voice or even changing your expression. For an animated character, that subtlety is even harder to achieve, but Ruiz's delivery, crisp, confident, and layered with microscopic inflection, manages to make Tlin feel as fully realized as any live-action character in the franchise. When Tlin officially joined the Cerritos crew in Lower Decks Season 4, fans rejoiced. It was a payoff months in the making, and the series didn't disappoint. Tlin was a natural foil to the show's chaotic energy. Her Vulcan sensibilities clashed and complemented the free-spirited personalities of Ensign Mariner, Boimler, and Rutherford. This dynamic allowed for both hilarious friction and unexpected bonding, especially between Tlin and Mariner, who shared a mutual understanding of what it means to push back against authority. Ruiz clearly relishes these moments. Playing Tlin gives me a chance to dig into a character who's always observing, always calculating, but who's also starting to ask questions about who she is, she noted. There's a quiet rebellion in her, and that's something I find really fascinating. Indeed, Vulcans rarely get to explore growth arcs that involve emotional introspection, but Lower Decks flips that script while keeping it grounded in the essence of Vulcan culture. Ruiz's theater and musical background might seem worlds away from sci-fi, but it turns out that her precision with timing, rhythm, and character makes her an ideal fit for this animated galaxy. Her ability to find the humanity in a hyperlogical character like Tlin is exactly what makes the role sing. And while Tlin may not be belting show tunes or dancing across the Cerritos Bridge, Ruiz brings the same kind of discipline and soul to her performance. Perhaps what makes her portrayal so remarkable is that it doesn't attempt to modernize or rebel against what a Vulcan should be. It simply deepens our understanding. Tlin is not a caricature of logic. She is a being who has internalized it, questioned it, and is slowly learning where it fits into her evolving worldview. Ruiz taps into that inner journey and makes it feel not only believable, but relatable. In many ways, Ruiz's Tlin feels like a spiritual successor to classic Vulcans like Spock or Tuvok, characters who walk tan growth. But she also stands entirely on her own. In the vast,